best a boy can never be is pretty. He launches ships on which he sails to safety. And what I'm feeling isn't lust, it's envy. He has the earth, makes love to her, despite me. I am held captive by the ribbon round my neck. Each course I chart determined by a wreck. The power in my hips is useless in the dark. What good are red lips when you're faced with something sharp? Beautiful boy, beautiful boy, beautiful boy. I wish I could be a beautiful boy.
There we go. Hello. Hello, hello. I gotta make sure this music's not too loud here. I think it's okay. Today, I will be drawing the regurgitated version of Kannibal Chapter 1. So if you... Sorry, my throat's a little gross, but if you have ever wondered how I made Kannibal, and those time lapses were just not enough, I'm about to show you. And I do have the storyboards already done and my file all prepped, so you're not really going to see any of that. I think that stuff's kind of boring to watch anyways, but we are just going to start from page 1. So we're going to jump in here and get some stuff done. But I'm really excited because the storyboards that I prepped for the new version of Chapter 1, I feel like they're actually a lot better. And I wasn't really sure if it was going to be a lot better or not. You know, it's one of those artist things where you're not 100% sure how much you've actually improved over the last year or so. And this is about a year and a half or so, maybe a little more, since I last drew this last one. Anyways, but we're just gonna hop in here and see what we can get done today. I'm hoping to stream for maybe a couple of hours. I have some other stuff I need to get done today, but should be able to hopefully at least get a page done. That's my goal. That's my goal. But with how detailed some of these pages are, I haven't drawn any in Kannibal that are this detailed. Some of the other pages, I mean, I don't really anticipate doing this on this first page, but some of the other pages, I think I'm actually going to toss out the storyboards that I did, because in looking at them again, I kind of go, either feel like the composition's not better, or that the old one was better. And so I might replace some of the ones I have here with some of the old ones and then just redraw them. Or I might just create something totally different from scratch. And that's not unusual. I'll do that at least once or twice per chapter. But yeah, I guess we're gonna hop in here in just a second. So let's do this. All right. And actually, we can do all this.
We're not finished.
Yeah, that should be good. That should be good. Alrighty. And I am drawing on a tablet. I have a Wacom. I think it's a 24. I got like a refurbished one about 5 years ago, maybe. So sorry, I'm the bad streamer who answers texts. But this is such a good song, but maybe next time. Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, I'm super excited about this because I think this first page is actually gonna be a little challenging in some ways, but also I think it's gonna be great. So easy first panel. This is just text, and I think I'm actually gonna make it typing. I guess not. There we go. That's what I want. Probably maybe double the size. No, I think we need even more than that. Yeah, that seems pretty good. I think also maybe just some, what is it, ellipsis? Yeah. Just want to make sure it doesn't fall off the, yeah, it doesn't fall off the page. Cool. Alright, I'm also a layer namer, at least in Clip Studio. You'll find me disregarding that practice in Illustrator. But in Clip Studio, I like to name all my stuff. And I do have a format that I follow. I'll go for line art, details, any kind of effects, whether that's like text effects or speed lines or just any other kinds of lines that would show up that way. So I'm definitely gonna need, and I do line art separate per character and then some per background. So I have background and I have 2 characters, that's 2 line arts, 1 detail, and then 1 effects. And I'll usually actually do the effects based off of what it says. Tac of the typing. I got a details. This is Z, so this is the Z line, and then the background, the G line. That's generally how I'll do it. Now we can actually start drawing. And also I am using this Tourbox Elite. I love using it for Clip Studio. It makes my life so much easier. How big is my brush here? Okay, here we go. And yeah, I'm on the right layer. I don't like that. Yeah, that's good. Maybe it's too small, you think? I kind of actually like how big some of these other ones are. Ooh, maybe we'll do something a little bit different. Oh, one other thing I haven't done here, which is not too late to do, is actually start recording in time-lapse. I have not done that yet. And I'm gonna save right now before I do anything too crazy. I'm glad I didn't miss that. It's been a while too since I've actually drawn in Clip Studio. I've been drawing a lot in person. And I've done some stuff in Illustrator recently too. But yeah, I think actually most of my time has been spent drawing these storyboards recently. And trying to get those finished so I can stream it. And also make these videos that I plan on making later on, because I think it's gonna be really interesting to take some of these pages once they're done and compare them to the old ones, and then just kind of see what's gotten better, what maybe stays the same, if anything gotten worse, which hopefully there's not any or much of that. But you know, progress isn't always linear, so sometimes you let go of something when you're reaching for a different thing or something. I don't know what I'm trying to say exactly, but you get it. You get it. Don't make an old man repeat himself. There you go. Don't do that to your uncle. Also, I will say, this first panel took me so long when I first did it. And the main reason is because this is a keyboard back here. And I try to make it somewhat accurate. And I didn't put, like, there was no, what would you call it? I guess, like, lettering inside each of the keys. There was nothing like that. But it was still really time consuming to, like, outline them all. I think I'm going to be really general about this, but I don't really know how exactly. Like, I think I still have to figure out how I'm going to be general for the keyboard and still make it feel like he's typing on a keyboard. But that's a problem for your future uncle, and that future uncle comes into existence in like maybe 30 minutes. So, you know, that's what we do. That's what we do. I feel like this doesn't make as much sense. Let's get rid of this. Okay, that's the first hand. Oh, and actually, you know, his sleeves would come up a little farther. So I'm actually just gonna have sleeves exist right here. I'm gonna be picky about music too, so sorry. And honestly, if I'm being real, I just want to get through this panel because I'm really excited about all the other panels. But this one, I'm not very excited about. I'm just gonna be so real. I think it's a good little opener to kind of like build some of the tension of this guy working really hard to finish what he's doing. But in terms of it being fun to draw, this one less so than the other ones. I feel like I'm having that phantom phone syndrome where you think your phone's vibrating all the time. That's a real thing. Scientists told me or something. I don't know. This isn't too different at all from my typical process either. If you're wondering, literally the only difference is that like this monitor over here is like turned a little bit more towards me, so you can look at this fucking beautiful face as I draw. But I'm honestly just doing the exact same thing most of the time. If well, I guess like when I'm working in Clip Studio, it's a little different if I'm drawing something on paper and pencil. I guess you can't really see it here, but in some of my other videos you can see a drafting table behind me. And that's where I usually do all that stuff. That doesn't... Okay. The other thing too about this one, as I'm looking at it, like it just doesn't feel as real. It doesn't feel right, but it's not hitting me the right way. I think it's okay for now though. So when I did this before, I did it in Photoshop. And what's beautiful about Clip Studio is they have a perspective ruler. So I'm gonna try that out and see how it goes. That's wrong. That is wrong. Y'all see that, right? Well, that's like not right at all and totally wrong. You wanna like over here? edge of the table should be maybe a little bit thinner. Nope. Okay. And if we extend that over here, we're right there. Ooh, you know, it'd be fun maybe at some point is if I swap the music to be like the pieces that inspired Kannibal. That might be a good idea. It wouldn't go. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad. Is this the bottom? It's gotta be higher than or something, right? This is just... And I think I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit on the whole thing. Because I don't really think you need to see that much detail on the table or anything like that. I can turn this off for now. And just draw what I need to draw. I guess it's actually more like this has to go up here, right? No matter what. This would go here. Yeah, see, that doesn't feel right. It does feel like it needs to go down here. There you go. Oh, the keyboard. He's back on. Thanks, I appreciate it. Alright. This keyboard's gonna be the death of me. This is so rough. But I think if we keep it as simple as possible, we will be just fine. Okay. I know, man. This perspective ruler too is just, it is making the process a lot easier compared to when I did it just in Photoshop a year and a half ago. That was, I mean, like, that was really rough, actually. That was one of my least favorite drawing memories. I just, oh, I did that wrong. And I guess this is gonna be down there, yeah. We go about here. Cool, cool. Okay. How many rows do we have? Minimum we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to split it up a couple more times. Alright. Split it there. Actually just go all the way like this and we'll race. Just make our life a little bit easier. And then one set. Right? Go right there. Alright. And I think just so this matches up too, let's make sure that we take this and do that. This is the right one, right? Yes, it is. Cool. Alright. Oh, you know what? We also didn't draw the very top of the mouse pad up here. Right about there, maybe? I think we're gonna have to go like there. That looks wrong. We first maybe just extend this line. Nope. I think that'll be fine. I'm gonna turn off the back so I can kind of get a good look at this. Okay, I think we're heading in the right direction. I did try to kind of draw a crude little mouse, kind of like mine. Let's try to do that, I guess. That's kind of what my mouse looks like. And then we do the it's kind of one of those weird, like, ergonomic mice. I got it for free at a convention, and been pretty good so far. Been good to me. It's not planning to kill me yet, so. Let's fix this though. That does look kind of silly now. I think it's maybe just too... It is too wide, yeah. So if we go too far out, we need to... something more like that. I'm trying to picture it a little bit. I guess I have it in my hand right here. Yeah, it should be like smoother of a transition. Now we can kind of clean this up. Oh man, Joe went away. Such a good album. Alright, we'll leave it at that for now. The table we're gonna zoom in on a little bit, so I'm not gonna actually draw much of the table here. But I guess one thing we do want to do is figure out. You know what? I think I'm gonna go back to the perspective tool and then do something a little bit different here. That's what I want. I want it to follow this, and then also it's gonna be somewhere like that. Because these aren't all gonna be lined up at all. You know, you have like shift that is typically wider than some of the other keys. So I do kind of want to show some of that. All right. And I guess we just kind of keep that going for a little bit. And I'm not gonna, well, you know, actually what I should do. I'm thinking about how I'm gonna fill this with color. And if I should be separating all these. But I don't think it matters that much. This is an interesting one, huh? I don't think I do this right now. I think actually I'm making a mistake by making these lines right now. Sorry, I'm hearing something. I think some playing music outside my window. Hold on. Okay. All right. Window's closed. Window's closed. We're good. We're good. Oh man. Okay, so I guess what I'm gonna do instead, I'm gonna take these two, and I'm gonna basically zoom in a little bit more on these. And it does mean that compared to the old one, it's gonna have a little less detail. But I also think that it needs to have less detail. It shouldn't be filled with that much detail right off the bat. Especially because nobody really cares about how well drawn a keyboard is. I'm trying to match this the best I can. It's something like that. I'm not really going to be using it too much anyways. But then here in the detail section, so first I'm going to draw all the details that I need to draw, and then I'll actually come back into the keyboard and finish what I was doing. And then I think you'll understand why I was even hesitant to start drawing some of those lines early on. It's mostly with the toning why I was like, this isn't gonna work if I keep going the way I'm going. And then just having some tufts of hair throughout here should be. I wasn't too invested in this character design as much as some of the other ones, just because I mean, spoiler alert, but I mean, it happens in this chapter, so it's not in the very first chapter. This is kind of how the story starts. This character doesn't last very long. It's just kind of what this character does that's important. Cool.
When the culture is oppressed, we dress up all our trauma. The truth is hard to find, hidden deep within one's aura. Looking up above, instead of looking within ourselves. My universe works mentally, my body is a shell. So why so much division? Has the joy left all our heads? Maybe it's the fear of having no one in our beds. It's empowering to think that all the hateful people out there, if they were only shown more love, they wouldn't be so spiteful. Love is my God. I don't care what you say, or the hate in our hearts, it takes us further away from the truth that we keep.
Okay.
But we swallow it down like that lump in your throat.
I gotta
When you
sneeze.
can't make a sound, I wanna say you are mighty as a God, disconnected love. God is always acting up. Hand me down traumas, no evolving from our pain.
All right, let's get the perspective tool again. Let's actually do this for real this time. There's that. And then we can actually do this and this. And then we do it here. Boom. And we don't really need to go like all the way down, as long as we're not crossing. Past the point that it needs to. I guess the in there. It's gonna go up there. Which means you get one kind of going here. And one there. It's a fairly easy one now. You can just keep it going all the way through. Nope, maybe before, yeah. Okay. A little bit crossing in there, I don't want. And I guess when we start going here, it's kind of off-center in a weird way. Like off-center there. And then actually we're able to help here. There we go. So much more simple compared to last time. Last time was kind of crazy. Let's get a bit of a design brush. Do this sound effect here. this one a little bit thicker. Okay. So basically what I do once I'm done with the line art, I'll turn off the sound effects, I'll turn off the details, make sure that the storyboard's not in here, and I go into this folder I've made called, I just label it tone because that's all it's going to be. And I start, so let's just select all layers. I start selecting everything that I think is going to be a certain tone in order to start filling it. I usually will expand it a little bit just because kind of helps not have that like weird line in between your line art and the like fill. So sometimes you'll see that happen. It takes a second too sometimes to fill in because it is a texture. That texture will take a second to totally take up the space it needs to. I just feel like you need some Hawkeye vision too sometimes because you'll see little small spots that they'll be just like little pockets and corners in between, like this right here. I'll show you what I mean. Let's make a skin tone maybe 40. Those numbers are the values. By the way, like 80 is darker, 100 is the darkest it goes, 40 is somewhere in between. I think it's fine. But this is what I mean, right here. This right here. And I guess I don't have a lasso tool. But yes, this right here. You gotta keep an eye out for those. I usually just draw it back in there. But that's kind of common. So I think we make the table a bit dark. Just a little bit. I think the keyboard's gonna be light. I think more people have like keyboards now, right? Not me. Mine's like the same color as my table, but you know, I feel like people are working on Macs pretty often, and Macs will have like the Apple keyboards. Also, sometimes the texture will get pixelized, and I have to separate the texture from the mask and just move it out of the way. I think it's just a weird little issue with it. Here's another one of those situations I was talking about. This part of the finger did not get filled in. Bit of lag there. And yeah, here's one more for the table, where your line art sometimes just impedes the rest of it. And I think here too, because it'd probably be like a bit of a shadow, I'm just gonna fill that in a little bit. Okay, so here's what I meant by not wanting to do that whole thing with the cross, because I have to select everything. And if I had done that, I'd be selecting a lot of sections. And I could have done the like horizontal crossbar on that same layer I did the vertical. In fact, I probably should have, but this really is not so bad compared to splitting it all up. So I'm really not that concerned with it. Let's do, actually, before I do that, I think I also want that little button there. Be the lightest tone it could be. Alright. Missed one there. And I might even make it a little lighter than that. This. Maybe just make it dark. I don't know. I think that's alright. I'm gonna leave the sleeves white. It's like a lab coat, so I don't really care too much about that. And then under the desk, I'm gonna make pretty dark. Yeah, there we go. There's one little detail I'm noticing here. This is in the background line here, where it's going over that. And then yeah, you see this stuff, especially for these little parts here. Luckily, they're both the same color, so I can just kind of go over pretty easily. Sometimes it does. I'm not like too picky about some of the white showing up. I think there's a level of perfection that's not worth getting to. Okay, so you put the details back in, and then at this point, what I'll do, I'll just pick like one thing. I'm actually gonna get rid of the text too, because there's no reason to have that up right now. Select this too. Expand it a little bit, and then I'll take my halftones and drop them in as well. And then what's cool about doing it this way is I can just draw with them. And that kind of makes it a little bit more manageable. And it kind of gives it that like scratched out look too, if you really want that. Little geese. And I think using this as shading is what kind of helps bring, like, this line art is not that complicated at all. This is so basic, but it kind of helps bring stuff like this back to life. And then this is what sticks out of the keyboard a little bit. Shade that too. And I think this is some of the stuff where like I was kind of doing it, but not really before. Or in like the first chapter of Kannibal. I was like using these brushes. They're like wash brushes that would they would darken the area. I mean, it kind of looked, it was basically this texture here to shade, and it had a cool look to it, but it was god awful to work with, especially because like since it was a wash and it was digital, there was less control I had over it, and like a regular wash, I guess this would actually be in shadow a little bit here. It's gonna all be halftone, but because it was a wash, there was like less control, and because it was digital, it like didn't let me kind of get the right feel for it, and so I'd have a lot of times where I'd like start shading something with that wash brush, and then I would try to I guess, how would you say, like I would try to layer it on top of itself, and then if it came out too dark, it was actually really hard to backtrack or to like make fine adjustments to it. So I ended up just deciding I should just stick with halftones anyways and not try to be too different with the style of the comic. Even though like I do think this wash does look cool, and I did really like it, and I felt like maybe it made it stand out. It just like really was not worth the effort. It was so frustrating to work with. And even worse was that so that first chapter was in Photoshop, and so it wasn't really an issue, but then when I imported those brushes over to Clip Studio and fully switched to Clip Studio, just because it's such a easy way to work with this stuff to make comics, Those brushes were imported just fine. There was like some adjustments I needed to figure out in like the brush engine of Clip Studio, but they were so laggy. They just like would make it so impossible to work. So I really hated it at that point, and I just full on abandoned the idea by I think the third chapter. I was like, this just like this cannot happen. I cannot do this. I can't stand to. I'll never get an issue done if like not only am I waiting for my tones to load, but I'm waiting for like every brush stroke when I'm shading to load. Like it's a bit of a nightmare. Okay, so that's a really simple one. I'm not gonna go too much beyond that because I'm really excited about these other ones here. I think these other frames are a lot more interesting to draw, so I'm gonna go for these here. Same naming convention. So I have some like speed lines, I guess. I also have his line art, and I need a details, which actually should be above that. But yeah, let's get started on this one. I think I'll start with the face here first. But man, yeah, ever since I did start working on these storyboards, I've been so excited to start recording this stuff and start drawing it. Hold on one second. My keyboard is dying. I need to plug it in. Okay. Just because I was... Oh, my mouse is moving. Just because I was not sure how much better they would actually turn out, and I do feel like it turned out a lot better. At some point I'll have to, maybe when I'm done with this page, I'll have to actually pull up the original page that I'm remaking here and try to do a quick comparison. Because I've only compared them with like the storyboards that I have, since that's all I've had until today. So let's see what it. Oh, I don't want to draw too much detail because I have a layer for that. And obviously, it's just kind of the way things are. But my physical paper is not as long. It's like not as tall as my canvas in Clip Studio. So there's gonna be a lot of. I don't think I like that. There's gonna be a lot of spots that I just kind of make up. He looks like he's smiling. He shouldn't really be smiling. I think it's better to do something more like that. Okay. We don't even need that line there. That's kind of messy. I don't want that. Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of I'm thinking about drawing and thinking about talking. And that's it's not easy to do. I'm not used to that. But I think it's going fine, you know. Who cares? Who cares? I'm talking about interesting stuff here and there. I felt good too, because later in this chapter you see his brother, and I always kind of worry with when you draw like humanoid animals, and you try to like you create the same animal, but you want to have some level of like familial relationship, that you want them to look kind of the same but not the same. You want them to be identifiable. There's such a fine balance with that, and I feel like I did pretty good. I did pretty good once we get to his brother. Granted, I think in the first actual chapter that I did, I think I also did a good job in terms of the character design, of making sure that that was also true back then. So I really could just pull from that this time around. Oh, classic Isaac Wood. Oh, same, man. Same. Okay. Alright. Just finish this eyeball here. Okay. And I think this is... Yes, this is enough that I think all I need to do really quick. So I'll turn this off for now. Select the outside. Expand it a little bit. And typically this layer is not even actually used, because I'll use this tool sometimes. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll actually draw it myself. Let's try this one out. I honestly don't even know how they work. Sometimes they're like, yeah, this is great. That's fine. See, it just creates its own layer, so it doesn't really even matter. I'll just take the name, put it in there, delete this layer. Whatever. Alright, now we can bring that back. And then we can actually get in to some of these little details here. Thank goodness I drew these recently, because I feel like I'd start forgetting what some of these were. There's a little bit of a messiness to it that I actually really like. This.
I am invincible in these sunglasses. I am the Fonz, I am the Jack of Hearts.
Alright.
I am looking at you and you cannot tell I am more than the sum of my parts. I am looking at you with my best eyes and I wish you could tell.
Okay, cool. I'm liking how these eyes are turning out. It's kind of interesting because I wanted him to look really tired and exhausted. So I gave him all these light bags under his eye. But I noticed as I was looking at references of chimpanzees that they just kind of have that. They just kind of have like really deep grooves under their eyes. So kind of just helped them look more like a chimpanzee. This one's gonna be tricky because so chimpanzees have like, you know, our nose like sticks out, right? This is like the most protruding part. Chimpanzees will have like this concave, so it's almost like they have two of these, right? So it's like two parts that stick out, and then the center is like concave. It's often really dark in there, actually. So you gotta like really think about the shape of it. And I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard. At least for me. I don't find it easy to just intuit it. But you know, that's why we practice. Because when I drew the storyboard, I looked at a reference. So at the very least, my placement would be a little bit informed. And I've been looking at a lot of references as I've been doing the storyboard, so I'm trying to like pull that from my memory to see how I can like actually represent that. But also, you know, if I have to pull up the reference later. I'm not ashamed. What the heck was I doing here, though? What is this? I'll come back to that. I'll have to think about what I was trying to say with that line. I also don't want his nose to look like super wrinkly. They are like wrinkly noses, but I don't want it to look like decrepit. Yeah. What does it look like now? Well, I think with the shadow in there, it's gonna probably be fine. Because they're pretty dark all the way through. So... yeah. So I might just like quickly find a reference to... I just started typing chimpanzee into my phone. Just found the first text box. Weird little noses. And the other thing I noticed about chimpanzees as I was looking through them is that like they have such varied facial structures. Like some of them look drastically different from each other. Which is pretty cool. 'Cause yeah, I mean, especially like in youth, they look so different. I mean, for some reason, I'm only finding older ones, or sorry, younger ones, and I need an older one. But then, yeah, like elderly chimpanzees will have a certain look to them too. Yes. And I think another thing to know, if you're ever drawing chimpanzees, is that, oh, that's an AI. Their face changes a lot if they're like yelling versus if they're calm. It's probably the best I'm gonna find right now. Yeah, because I think the tricky part is like I need to define where the nose kind of starts, but their nose is also often like flush with this. You know what I mean? It's like the same. So how I'm gonna do that, I have to think about it for a second. Because I don't think that's the move there. Okay, I can do some of this too. No, I'll go this direction. Does anybody want to buy my crypto? How about that kid that rug pulled everybody and then apologized for rug pulling everybody and started a new crypto, only to immediately rug pull everyone again? I think this nose structure is also, it's not quite right. It doesn't kind of curve in. It's so weird. It's such a strange. Didn't I skip this already? Okay. I gotta make a playlist specifically for streaming. Okay. Alright. And then I think also we had reserves. Yeah, we did reserve some spots where it's just gonna be total shadow. And I think this section too, it just needs to be total shadow. I tried making it cross-hatching, but I think it makes more sense for it to not be. But Oh, we didn't do anything with the eyebrows or anything, or the...
In my dream, I saw him, the man without a head. On my screen,
Get some
I
of
saw him when I was 4 and 10. I
maybe
didn't
better to do it like this.
see him. It all happened so fast. What does it mean to see him? Now all this time has passed. In my
Info hazard. Warning. I already forgot the name of it, but there's a basilisk. There's a theory that there is a basilisk out there that'll one day come to Earth and it will kill everyone on Earth, except for people that don't know about the basilisk. So now that you know about it, you're probably gonna be a victim. Sorry, I said info hazard. Okay. Actually, like, kind of like some, like, creases in his mouth. It's maybe too dramatic there. What are we looking like? What are we looking like? I think the main problem I have is that this is like not being defined as like being behind the nose and the bridge. And then we can also just like throw in some small details for the eye here. I don't believe in going crazy on the eyes, man. Going crazy on the eyes. I think if it's not the focus, man, just even that. I think what I just did there is too much. You know, I feel like the eyes can be really simple and look good. Okay, let's throw some tone in. So I'll start with the background really quick. So I want to keep it really light. Cool. And then I'll start with the hair. Get that one there. I don't think we got this. Did we get most of it? I think so. And I'm actually going to throw this in here too. Even though it's not technically part of hair. I don't want it to distract by being a different color. And I actually think we go one level darker than we did last time. Just for contrast's sake. We have the eyes in here. The eyes are already going to be dark. Oh, and you know what? Something I forgot to do is fill this in. Uh-oh. This wasn't selected. Bang. And then we gotta do this one manually because they tried cross-hatching. Clean this up. What did it round out? There we go. Cool. And I think this will probably just be extra. Like there. I want it to do the same thing here. Maybe even more so. Yeah. Cool. Alright, get rid of that again. Finish the tone. Let's do the dark ones first. 80? Yeah, let's do 80. Okay. We got the skin tone. It's the last part here. Leave it at about 40. I like the 40, 80, 40, 95 contrast. Just so we know, let's play around with the levels a little bit. No, I think the 40 is about right. I do think the background is a little too dark. You want that. And then one thing I like to do for eyes is I will take kind of the part that would be covered by the eyelid. In this case, it's the eyebrow, because the chimpanzee has really prominent eyebrows. And then I'll just like fill them in with like about 40%, and it makes them feel so much realer. Yeah, free tip for you there. That, oh, I already have it here. I just gotta throw it in. I feel like every time I do that, I'm like, dang, that looks good. Maybe we do something like this, just to kind of make up for some of the less defined parts of this ridge. It's maybe too much. I need to make my brush a little bit smaller. Yeah. Okay. And then we're going in with halftones. I think 60 is still good. Yeah, 60 is great. But yeah, that's generally the process. You saw it happen twice if you were here from the beginning. But yeah, in general, that's kind of how I go about making these panels. Maybe at some point I'll show the storyboard process. It's just so much harder to show, and even like I'm gonna have a hard time talking through that because there's so much thinking involved there. And like there's a lot of time where there's not anything happening, because I'm looking into references, I'm trying to figure out what composition works best. And some of the like early sketches, they don't even make any sense, you know? It's like if you want to see something where you're like, actually I shouldn't even say, that's such a deep spoiler for Jujutsu Kaisen. But you know, big mangakas will have some insanely undetailed storyboards. And I think if you can work that way, that is actually like, that's optimal. That's gonna save you so much more time. I just have a lot of fun putting some detail into my storyboards and making them feel a little bit more like what they'll actually look like. So I just choose not to do that. But I do think, like, if you want to optimize your process and not waste too much time, that's the way. But I'm not the best artist either. So I do find that process to be a little harder for me. Yeah, I mean, some people can even like totally skip the storyboard. I mean, I feel like I can skip the storyboard. I don't want to though. I think storyboard is one of the more fun parts for me. And then also, I do think it makes it better because there are a lot of times where like your first idea is just not always going to be the best idea. And the way you might see it in your head might just be different from what you actually get. Things might not always work. There's no text here, right? No, there's no text. I do also, on top of it all, want to draw some lines over the top.
I'll give you motherfuckers restless.
Let's go.
I'll keep you up all fucking night. I feel you're gonna bite the bullet.
So I do want them to look kind of sweaty, you know, I guess. Just trying to find a more eloquent way to say that, but it's really dude's sweating to get the work done, you know. It's just how it works. It's just what it is. I think it's fine. Okay, we move on. These are some easy ones because they're actually just meant to look really digital. These are screens. Hey, how's it going? All right, easy frames here. Is there a... There is somewhere. Where is it? I'm just looking for a rectangular tool. Not the lasso tool. Or should I draw it? Would it look better hand drawn? I don't think so because it's digital, right? It's supposed to look like a computer screen. Maybe it is just better to... Yeah, we'll do this. Okay. Do I need a details screen? I don't think so. This is my first stream. I'm doing all right. I just wanted to show some of these in progress because I'm recreating Chapter 1. Chapter 1 I made about a year and a half ago, maybe longer now. And it was kind of like a learning process. I mean, I might be able to find a old one of those old pages. I might be even to find this specific one in order to make it look like the rest of them, because they just don't look like the rest of them. And I knew that I would do that whenever I started it because I had no idea what I was doing. Yeah, so here's this page. Let's see. Bring it over to the top here, right? Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, this is it. So you can see there's like no spacing between the panels except for this one here. And so yeah, I wanted to make them match the rest of it. So that's why I started streaming it, because I feel like, you know, there's no spoilers here. May as well show it off a little bit. Alright. Oh, and I know I said I'm a layer namer, and now here I am lying. flying straight to everyone's face on cam in 4K. It's not 4K. It's 1080p. Who cares? Alright. That's good enough for me. We're at like 88% in that screenshot. Or I guess not a screenshot. The drawing. The drawing. Alright. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. There. And then free transform. Let's do, yeah. Boom. We go way over here. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I was that was one of my concerns, is that I would start making it, and then I would go, oh, you know what? In the storyboard phase, it's not that much better, but I was pretty surprised actually with how much has changed. But I mean, in general, that has been the goal. Alright, so that's where I wanted it, but I think I want it here in the center. In general, the goal has been to have this channel just document that progress. Like whether, oh, I have that selected. Whether or not anything actually comes out of making Kannibal or not, that's secondary. I really just kind of wanted to show how that's changed over time, and hopefully encourage other people to keep at it, because I've drawn for a long time, but I've only drawn for like 2-ish years on and off really seriously, and the last year and a half has been like very seriously. Actually, I guess it's more like 3 years on and off. But a lot of my work has been a little bit more professional in terms of like working for corporations, which I don't really. That's not me, dog. I don't really like doing that stuff. What did I say? It's called transferring, right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Is my text not coming out? Great. I suck. Oh. That way? Yeah, that's why. Let's find a font that looks a little digital. Oh yeah, array, right? Nah, it's too much. That's too much. Let's try. What do we got? If I didn't delete the last one, I could kind of see what font I used last time, because I think it was fine before. Oh, I love singing. I love karaoke. Which is funny because I never really sang. I never really did karaoke for a long time. Like, I don't think I started doing karaoke till maybe like 4 years ago. And I did it once. I flopped really hard. I did a duet with my best friend. We thought we could just pull Candy Shop just like right out of our ass. And that song is like both not the most comfortable thing to like try to sing or rap, but also it's hard. It's not easy to just like pull that out of a hat. And so it flopped really hard because we didn't know the lyrics. We didn't really know the song at all. But then I did one like maybe 6 months later, and it went pretty well, and I really liked it, and I was like, okay, I gotta try to like learn to sing a little bit better, because I had a lot of fun. And that same best friend actually teaches music lessons. I'm just scrolling through fonts now. I'm not even looking. But he teaches music lessons and taught me a little bit of singing for a little while. And yeah, that helped improve. I might just stick with array and just maybe go for regular. I don't really need to overthink this too much. But yeah, I mean, music is such a fun way to express yourself too. I feel like there's just a lot of arts that don't get as much love as they should. Like, I think about poetry as one that like doesn't get as much love as it needs to. Let's put that in the text section. And then duplicate it. Yeah. Nope, that was wrong. That was wrong. Oh, great. Great, I'm ruining it. And yeah, poetry is it's just one of those ones that takes some time. It takes people time to consume it. And so I don't think it gets as much love. Let me zoom out a little bit. I'm a little too close here to really figure out where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, that's it. Alright. And then I feel like maybe there's some kind of texture I can throw over the top or something. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like karaoke used to help me build confidence. You know, it takes a lot to just like go up and sing in front of people. And also, by the way, that's I forgot to mention in that story, that first time I bombed, it was like it wasn't like a private room karaoke. It was like in front of a crowd, in front of like random strangers at a bar. Thanks. Yeah, I think it's fitting. I want to see if I can maybe even make it look a little bit more digital with a texture or something. I think there's like some. I don't really use these too much. I don't really know. Yeah, like maybe a bitmap, something. It's kind of small though. I kind of want it. Yeah. Close. That's close to what I want. What is the board box? Oh. Oh, it's the worst. H line? That looks interesting. Yeah, this is it. This is it. That's what I want. And then I just kind of need to rotate it a little bit. Alright, be a little more like that. And then just make it a little. Yeah, that's it, that's it. Okay. Let me do that one more time. Look at that. Look at that. Who said that working in UX one day would do nothing for me? Oh, that was me. That was me. Yeah, I ended up finding that I like karaoke in front of a crowd, which I think most people don't. What am I doing? Understandably so. It's a little bit easier to let loose in front of friends and people that you like, rather than strangers. But you know, you also get to meet people that way. Isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Boom. And then we do done. Maybe this one's a little bit bigger though. Or something like this. And then I just need to draw like a little mouse. Or a cursor, I guess, not a mouse. Boom. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Okay. And then, sorry, can you show me what you look like? What is it? Yeah, there it is. I'm looking at the cursor. Okay. This is the worst. I hate it. It's so big too, actually. But if I do this and do that, and then change this to black, and then change this to white. Yeah. It just looks a little bit grungy, that's all. I think we can fix pretty easy. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I think it's fine. Then we just kind of increase this a little bit. Cool, cool. Let's move everything down though. Center it. And then from here, we'll take that H line right back down here. And then something like that. There we go. There we go. Wait, what a fool. What a fool, you've tricked me. You're supposed to duplicate it. You lied to me. Okay. Alright, now for another fun panel. That one, yes, yes. Okay, so how many layers do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers? I think 5 layers, right? Sound effects, right? We need the details. We need Z in the background. We need that guy. And we need the background. Cool, let's start with Z. Because he's just a little simple guy back here. Oh, I'm drawing with white. Alright. I feel like he looks kind of like a skull. Like not like those numbskulls in Hades, you know? Looking a little bit like one of them. Except he has a, what's it called? A widow's peak. Ooh, that's a messy line. No! There we go. Actually, we could maybe extend it a little bit more, too. Alright, that should be good enough for the face there. Should also give him ears. We did not draw ears in the storyboard. Ooh. No, I guess it does need to be taller, huh?
someone to fall.
Oh, nope, nope.
Been a weekend, but in my mind we
Okay.
summer in France with our genius daughters now.
There we go. He looks a little bit more like a monkey now. Oh. Man, I'm just thinking back to when I drew this in Photoshop the first time around. Oof. I'm so glad that Adobe's been such a terrible company that they made me mad enough to want to switch. Because I don't think I would have found Clip Studio otherwise. And Clip Studio is just so much better, man. It's just, at least for what I'm doing. Would he? No, he wouldn't. He would not have it buttoned. It's actually, I don't really define the fingers. Let's think about it. Okay, I've thought about it. And then some tufts of fur that are gonna be sticking out here. And then we're just gonna draw the actual handle through here. Yeah, honestly, it's not even a good time to use Adobe right now. Like, I got an email, I think like 2 days ago about Adobe's like price doubling essentially. At least for some people. I haven't seen like any like huge widespread like news about it or anything, but like I've had a friend tell me that they weren't really able to keep their price. So I think they're pulling some more shenanigans, especially with like changing. I guess what I saw is that they're changing their like all suite pricing from being like, I don't know, what is it, like $40 for everything except for like the 3D assets or the 3D programs, to being more expensive, but you now have access to like AI stuff. And then I think you can have a cheaper, slightly cheaper one that's still more expensive than what you would have been paying before, but you don't have access to the AI stuff. But in that, that's also included like some things that like maybe does use AI to a certain extent, but it's not like AI generation. Oh no. What's going on here? What is it doing? Let's see. Is it up yet? Oh, no, it's not the time. Come on. Let's see if this will... Why the fuck? The music's not playing. Oh, it's back. Is it back now? Oh, we are back. We're back. We're so back. Okay. Alright. The police came. The YouTube police came by. Yeah, it's just the policy violation or something. That song was just no good. But I mentioned this at the beginning. I should make a playlist specifically for streaming because it'll I wondered if that would happen, but I've never streamed on YouTube before, so I wasn't sure. So what was I saying? Oh, Adobe and how they suck. Yeah, I guess you can pay more for the AI stuff, but I think some of the stuff that's included in it is also like generative fill, which I guess is not that really like that big of a deal. There was like some practical use for it where it wasn't so evil, like slightly removing some object or blemish or something, but I don't know. It's just it seems less and less worth it. I have Affinity, which has been pretty good, but there's some small problems I have with it. But it's a fairly good alternative. I think the hardest part is if you use it for like Premiere or if you use it for After Effects or if you what's the other one? There's one other one. No, I guess it's just Premiere and After Effects. Oh, Media Encoder. But there's another one out there I think for that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like part of the problem is that so many studios, so many big companies still use it as an industry standard, and it's just not really industry standard quality. Like it is good, but it's not that good. And I do see people drawing in like Procreate more and more now, and it seems to make the most sense. Especially if you already have like the iPad or whatever. Like why would you go for anything else? Illustrator's a little bit tough to give up, because it is pretty powerful, and I feel like the Affinity version's not that strong. Yeah, Substance Paint. I've not used it either. Um, and it is like, I think it was like $200 like a month for the Substance set, which is crazy. It doesn't even come bundled with the Adobe package, so it's like you got to really be using that in order to justify the price. Um, and I would be such a beginner at that. I really wouldn't. I can't justify that price. Like I would need to work somewhere where they would pay that for me because I cannot afford to be paying $200 a month for Substance Painter. Um, and I had gone to a Adobe conference a long time ago when that was kind of first becoming a thing. And I mean, it looked so cool. And I was like really excited to use it. And then I looked at the price and I was like, no way. No way. It's just, it is insane. It's crazy. And I don't know what it cost before. Because I didn't really hear much about it until Adobe acquired it. Just because I'm not really in that 3D scene as much. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was still that price, but the fact that it's not bundled into the Adobe Creative Cloud, like that's what I was excited for when I found out about it because I was like, "Oh, this is such a cool app to acquire." And then they're like, "Yeah, no, what if you still give us some more money?" What did it just do? I think I made a mistake here. Uh, oh, 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 what an idiot. What an idiot. I'm being dumb. No, I didn't mean to do that part. Okay. We're so back. All right. The I mean the Substance set was pretty cool too cuz I remember at the conference they had this like booth where you could like take a model that they had in person and then you had a projector that was projecting the screen onto this model and then you could actually like paint onto the iPad and then you would actually see it on the projected model. I think that's unrealistic to set up um, in any like real practical sense, but it was really cool to do. It was really cool to play around with. Oh man, like honestly, I can't justify paying more than like maybe $25 more because it's already expensive to have the Creative Cloud set. So it's like anything above that, I cannot. I can't do that. Like I'd have to be making money off of doing that stuff to be able to say it's worth it. I think that's kind of the problem with a lot of the tools too, and why I guess in some ways like going to art school is sometimes worth it. Because the barrier to entry for using some of these programs like Maya or um, um, even like video editing like DaVinci is it's steep. It's steep, and it's like, well, do I really want to pay $1,000 once for the whole program, or like $100 a month for the program just to learn it? It's kind of tough. That's kind of tough. Should make this bigger. Oh, what a stupid line that was. That was also a stupid line. Let's maybe do it that way. Yeah. Oh, I guess that doesn't make sense, does it? No, what are you doing? Shortcuts, shortcuts. we do want it curving in a little bit more. But maybe it's too much. Maybe if we zoom out a little bit, it'll be a bit easier. I'm just gonna do it all the way through. There we go. All right. Yeah. I think there's what's tough about it is I'm not aware of comparable alternatives. Like, you know, if you really hate the subscription model for Photoshop, there's all kinds of other stuff that works pretty similar. Like if you want photo editing, there's Affinity. If you want like drawing, there is Procreate, or there is GIMP, which is totally free. But it's there's not a lot for those 3D softwares. And that makes it even harder. What was that? Okay. Yeah, I mean, anything that's kind of why I felt really good about buying Affinity, because I was like, even if I don't really like it that much, if I'm just ever at a point where I just cannot afford the Adobe suite at all, then I go for Affinity, even if it is like slightly inferior in some ways, which I think it's just different. It's not, I wouldn't say it's inferior. It does some things better and it does some things worse, or not at all. And that was a one-time payment, and I think they saw a lot of people really hating on Adobe, and so they went and put everything on sale. And I don't know, it seemed to me like it was one of those sales that lasts a long time. So it could even still be on sale. For music programs, I mean, I remember my brother had a pirated version of Fruity Loops, and that seemed to do everything just fine. I think like I can't remember. Is it, I think Ableton's also maybe subscription, or is maybe it's a one-time payment, but it's like limited use in terms of like you have a certain amount of licenses. I mean, that's less of a problem, but that is also really annoying. Hmm. This is not feeling right. Maybe if I start with the back. No. I think just zooming out. I feel like zooming out makes me draw these simple shapes a lot better. And then I go and mess it up again. I think people don't. I find less and less people are using Fruity Loops anymore. You know, people are moving on to Logic or Ableton. Why am I having so much trouble with this oval? Maybe it's my arm dragging on my desk. Even like people are using GarageBand, you know, which is like the cheap alternative, which is maybe what Fruity Loops used to do. I need to start on this side because I can't see what I'm doing if I'm going from the other side. Alright, we'll fix the edge here. It's fine. Actually, this back one needs to be thinner anyways, since it's behind glass and stuff. And I didn't really make music myself with any of those DAWs, but I did play around with Fruity Loops a little bit, and just remember being like, I have no idea how to do any of the things I want. Isn't there one? There's like a free one, I think. It starts like an L or something. It's got like 3 letters, and I remember feeling the exact same way about that one. Where I was like, it looks complicated, and I don't really understand how to do the thing that I want to do that would seemingly be so simple. So that is, let's just erase starting here. I think I needed to extend down the same distance. Wow. Wow. I'm Owen Wilson. Alright. I guess we draw this hatch. This hatch was so poorly drawn in the storyboards. I did draw it better in the next page. I have the actual storyboards right behind me. Yeah, here it is. Oh, great, it's covered. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. I can make it look like whatever I want. I thought I'd have to match it to the next page, but I don't really. I think I'm just gonna make it really simple here. No, it's not Pro Tools. It was so obscure. I think it was like LMS or something. I'm not sure, but I knew nobody else that actually used that program. I think it's one of those things that like came about in the early like 2010s maybe and died off before like 2020. Because I never really heard of anybody else talk about it. It was so unintuitive. It like everything just seemed so overly complicated for no reason. Also, this bar, what is it? Okay. All right. Yeah. I want this bar to go all the way down, but it doesn't. Kind of ends like right here. Oh yeah, it was LMMS. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that's still around. I don't know if it's still around. It just did not feel like what I wanted it to be. And I remember a composer friend of mine did tell me too about one called Reaper, but I know nothing about it. This looks like a freaking bar of butter. Like a butter stick. That's just... If I up that a little bit. Maybe sharper corners, maybe. That's the move. That's the move. I remember when I looked at it online, I was like, whoa, there's a lot here. And then when I got into it, I was like, oh, I don't know how to access any of it. Yeah, I've heard Reaper is like, it's got a lot in it. It's got a lot in it. It's kind of one of those, it's not beginner friendly at all. That's what I heard about it. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I will never touch it. 'Cause I don't really make music like that. Anyways, I'm classically trained a little bit, so I honestly just prefer to be like making or writing sheet music. This is still too tall. It needs to be like that tall. Spending so much time on this stupid little bar. I feel like is it on stream too? My bar, or not my bar, my brush feels a little jittery. Or maybe it's because I did that. I don't need that. What am I doing next? I need to do this here. No, it's too much. I should slow down. There we go. Okay. That's good enough there. This one is gonna need tone here. What was that again? Oh yeah, I know what that is. It was so weird whenever the stream went down because the first thing that came up about policy violations is to not have firearms and minors on your stream. And I was like, you got the wrong guy, man. And then I scrolled down and I was like, oh, it's that thing that you thought would happen. I'm gonna actually leave that detail out for now. That's so big. Oh. Okay. It's funny, I was thinking about doing this stream for a little while. And only yesterday did I actually make the stream assets, and I was like, well, it'll take like an hour. And I spent like 4 hours. Yeah, I appreciate that. I learned a lot from. I took a mentorship with. I feel like he was actually a lot more well known in like the 2010s. But this guy Darkin, um, he makes a lot of what is it called? Magic the Gathering cards, like the artwork for him, and does a lot of digital painting. That's so wrong. And he used to have a mentorship that was not too expensive. Like I was able to pay for it having just saved up some money through high school. And I did it the summer I graduated from high school. And honestly, like I think part of it was that I was too much of a stupid kid to like fully grasp everything that this guy was trying to teach me. But it like dramatically improved my ability to draw because I was one of the things that I guess I didn't realize for a long time, and then I realized it, and then years passed, and then I realized that I didn't even like understand the beginning of it, is that half of drawing is like thinking about what you're drawing. It's not just like putting down lines. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, that makes sense. I guess, yeah, I don't think about what I'm drawing. I just kind of go, I'm making a telephone. I'm going to draw a telephone. and I don't really think about what it should look like. And oh no, there we go. And then when I started thinking about it, I got better. And then I realized I was like, oh, you really got to think about a lot more than just like what it is that you're drawing. You have to think about the shape of it and the form so much more. And I'll probably have some other like epiphany some time in the future or something, because I feel like that's kind of how art forms go. You just kind of think you know something, and then you have an experience later on where you're like, oh, I thought I knew it, but I didn't know it at all. And that's cool. I love that. But I feel like a lot of that at the same size. That's like really weird. Not even looking at this other one. I feel like that's kind of how some of those like moments happen too, is like somebody will just say something to you and you go, oh. I think one of my first art teachers said, draw what you see, not what you think you see. And I was like, yo, this is some Socrates type shit. Yeah, no, it changed my life twice because I thought I knew it and then I didn't really know it as well as I thought I did. But yeah, it's like, and I feel like that's what's really beautiful about some of those like little sayings that kind of like shape the way that you think about things later on, is they're always so simple. It's like you would assume that you were thinking about drawing when drawing, but like you don't really, I don't know, I guess think about it. it's it's funny. It's funny because it sounds like such stupid advice, but when you're the one that's like making like every line, you're like, oh yeah, it's easy to just turn your brain off for a line or two and stuff and not think about it. So yeah, I feel like when they happen, I always feel a little stupid, but I'm like, nah, it's just, there's a reason they tell you, what is it, 10,000 hours? 10,000 hours to master something? That's too thick. Oh. Yeah, of course, of course. I love talking about this stuff. I feel like that's one of the big things I'll notice with like very early beginners. And like I say this stuff as somebody who I would put myself maybe in the intermediate category. Certainly not advanced. I think I still have a lot to learn. But when I see beginners that are like really struggling, it's just really simple concepts like that. Like looking at what you're doing and then like taking a second to analyze, like, okay, I'm done with my painting. What didn't go well? And I feel like a lot of beginners might not take the time to do that. And it's just like really small things sometimes. Even if you don't fix it the next time, it's like just being able to recognize that you're making a mistake, or that you made a mistake and you don't know how to fix it. Like, you're already making some small improvements there. There's also this like concept of like your skill level versus your like taste level. Like, taste is also something that you have to get better at. You have to get, or like have better taste in general in order for you to improve. So it's like, it sounds really insulting, but it's a real thing where like if you are at a skill level that's fairly good, but your artwork's not getting any better no matter how much you train, and this won't happen for the first several years of any skill because you have to learn fundamentals first. But you might not ever improve if you don't like elevate your taste. If you don't like consume enough stuff out there, or you don't improve your standards for what is good, you won't reach that next level. So it's like taste making is kind of this, it's an important thing to have in your like regiment. Oh no, I messed it up. Oh wait, these are not together. Because it's supposed to be like battery boxes. Forgot. It's okay for now. Am I missing anything? Oh, I'm just drawing all over the place. Yeah, I'm missing this monitor. Yeah. Like, I remember one of the first people I followed when I was like starting to post my art online. And I'm not gonna name anybody because I don't want to call anybody out. But they drew some character that I thought was pretty cool. And so I followed them, and they drew their character a few more times. And I think they were doing something like, I don't know if it was like a webtoon exactly, because I wasn't following too closely, but their style was recognizable enough that every time they came up on my timeline, I'd be like, oh, that's that person. But then after like 2 years, I was like, man, this person is still only posting like portraits of this same character over and over again. And it's not too varied, you know. It's like the poses are always like front facing or 3/4 or to the side, maybe looking over the shoulder, but like in terms of like, is the camera now like up high and looking at a pretty dynamic angle? Like, none of that stuff was happening. And that for me was one of those moments where I was like, oh, like this is kind of what they mean, where you can get like really stuck into a rut and just draw the same thing over and over again because it feels comfortable. You can do it well, but then like, I didn't know this person personally or anything, but like I would wonder, like, if you ask them to draw something from like a different perspective, would they be able to? I don't know. That's kind of why some things are the way they are in Cannibal. Like, there are rules about making comics, or not rules exactly, but like suggestions. Like, for example, make your characters' designs fairly simple and not overcomplicated. Fair enough, like, because you want to draw them over and over and over again. But I would try to create elements in my comic that would break that rule at least once. And so I have this character Roth, and I mean, people I knew personally would be like, that character is you. And fair enough, but also I think the truth is I actually stole the haircut after I drew it. Not the other way around. But the character's physical look changes drastically throughout the story. And it's not seen yet. Actually, I have the chapter 8 is kind of where you first get a glimpse of that. And so you'll see that soon, maybe in a couple months. And so that was like my rule breaker for that, was like, here's something that they say, like, don't do this, but I'm going to do it anyways because I don't want to make myself feel comfortable at any point in drawing this comic. I want it to always be like hard. I want it to always challenge me in some ways. So, like Ichabod, the main character, is really simple. He's just a guy wearing a ghost sheet, and so it's really easy to draw. There's some elements that are a little bit more complicated, but I think pushing yourself in that way it's hard, but it's definitely worth it. Yeah, the angles is tough. The angles is definitely tough. And I think one of the things I noticed too when making the comic is that I will I'll have like a scene where it's like, all right, these two people need to talk for a page. Um and they talk back and forth, and then as I'm storyboarding it out, I'm like, okay, so like panel 1 and 3 looks the same because it's the same person talking, and panels 2 and 4 look the same because it's the same person talking. So that kind of forces me to be like, okay, I have to come up with a different composition because I can't just have like the same panels copy pasted over. It's a great challenge, and honestly, I did that all the way through drawing Cannibal, and I'm really glad that I did because I don't think that I would have improved the way that I have now if I didn't do that. Like, there's just no way this is wrong. That would have been true. Like, I might have improved still, but like not the same way. And like one of my best friends, I showed them this drawing whenever I first did it in the original comic. And one thing that he gave me a lot of feedback on, because I think it's this panel right here. In the original, it is um, it is a chimpanzee still talking, but it's a white background, kind of like it is here. I decided to change the composition for it because in the original it is kind of just like straight on, like this person's talking directly to you, and it looked really boring. And there wasn't as much dialogue on it. And one thing that he said was like, I have no idea where you are. And I put zero effort into drawing the background. There was no background really at all. And so when I heard that, I was like, oh, I have to challenge myself also for doing like environments and backgrounds, which is something I didn't even think about challenging myself on. And it's totally true. Like I don't hate on panels where like the background is white. Sometimes it's just better for it to be clean and to understand what's going on. But you do have to establish the environment, and that was one of the biggest challenges for me. But if I didn't do that before, I wouldn't be able to draw this panel here, which is mostly just like objects. It's not a lot of focus on people. The fisheye perspectives are a lot of fun. I don't think I'm very good at it. I'm trying to practice that one a little bit more. Um, I've done it a few times, and um, I think I just really like when I use it really subtly. Um, like if somebody's running, I love doing just like a tiny little bit of fisheye. Um, because it kind of makes like the ground look a little bit more warped, but it doesn't make the characters look too warped. Um, and I kind of like that. Like right here. Oh, that was clean. I like that. All right. Yeah, I gotta get my arm off my desk when I'm drawing like that, because that was a lot easier than like when I was messing around with this line down here. That was embarrassing. Just couldn't get that line right. Oh, he's standing here. So I feel like the placement of that's a little wrong, or at least in the storyboard. It's got to be like here or something, right? I think it's like right, but it's upside down. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, like I'm not saying that the fisheye lens is bad when it's strong. I love it when it's strong. Like you have people like Kim Jong-gi, who would like go crazy on that and just be able to do it freehand, like just by looking at a room that he was in, and that's crazy. But yeah, it's a little easier for me to start with the subtle effect, and I like the subtle effect too. It's I think pretty effective. What am I doing? What was I about to do? Am I missing anything? I don't think so. I think we're ready. Oh, you know what? I do need one other line because we want the background to be black. How am I gonna do this? So I think I want it to look like it's being electrified or something. Yeah, he's on another level. Like that guy was insane. But you know what? You know what's really reassuring about Kim Jong-gi? Because I remember like seeing a lot of his stuff and being like, I will never be able to get to that. That's insane. And I just made a lot of assumptions because I didn't know anything about Kim Jong-gi's like personal life at all. But then I found out he didn't really start drawing until he was like in his 30s. Like he wasn't hired for several years. And I was like, okay, that's reassuring because I'm not in my 30s. And I started drawing a few years ago, so it's like, or seriously drawing a few years ago. And I'm like, okay, there's some freaking hope because this guy might be on another planet, but he didn't do it like he was in a child prodigy. This guy, he did it in a certain amount of time, and I have way more time than that. And unfortunately, you know, he passed away still quite young. I think he was in his 50s or something. But I'm like, you know, if he did in that amount of time, so can I. And maybe he's got some innate gift or something, but like I've got twice the amount of time, right? So, you know, maybe there's hope. Maybe there's hope. So, am I liking this? I don't think I'm liking this. I think it should be not as spiky and just more rigid. I think I'm gonna do like this or something. Doesn't matter how thick it is. Alright. And then like here we can be a little bit more spiky because we have the electricity actually coming from here. Okay. Yeah, you know, I feel like it's about the way you look at it because you could look at them and be like, I'll never get there. And I totally did do that before, but if you're being honest, it's like, yeah, you know, there's probably something about him that made him so phenomenal as an artist, but when it comes to like putting the time and effort into it, you know, we got the time. We get the time. And it's not like you have to be as good as he was, you know, but like there's no reason to abandon all hope, he who went through here. So this won't work because I have this wire that's kind of curling through here. I need it to actually be more spiky. That's fine. Okay. Because if I turn this off, I want this to be black. But we're going to turn that off for now. So now we're going into details. No, we're not. No, we're not. We didn't even draw this silhouette. How do we want to do it? I kind of want it scribbly. Kind of how it is there. New. I don't think I know who that is. For me, actually, I didn't realize I would be so inspired by them, but like a lot of Japanese artists really inspire me. Oh, I like them in the frame. Oh, it's not a real frame. I was convinced it's a drawing of a frame, but it's the I'm looking at their version of the kiss. That's pretty sick. I love like Shintaro Kago. Shintaro Kago is crazy. And I don't think I would draw the same subject matter because even that's insane. But I don't know. There's something like they don't do anything that crazy with their colors or anything like that. But there's something weird and surreal about the way that they're drawing. And I think part of it is like the line is always there, like the line art's always there, but it's so thin and out of the way. I don't know. There's something about it that I'm always drawn to, and I can always tell when it's a Shintaro Kago. Something's weird. Okay. Alright, I guess it went away. Alright. Gotta draw some console stuff. Some science shiz. Also gotta draw the handle to this here. Yeah, I respect people who are able to do the like super clean line art. I think that's not me. At least it is not me right now. I think I just I think when I'm a little bit messier with my artwork, I can feel free to simplify better. And that's one of the main struggles I've had with making artwork in general. I'm not very good at like simplifying things. I always like try to include way too much detail when it's not necessary. And I'm getting better at recognizing that, and like when I did this keyboard the first time, I tried to do every single key, and I kind of did it this time, but it was so much more simple. I was like, I'm not going to do all of that because it was such an awful time before. And there's no benefit to like making all of that. You just got to make it look like a keyboard. I don't know what I was trying to do here. What was I trying to do here? Okay. These scans are at 600 DPI. And even then sometimes they get a little hard to see what's going on. All right. Let's. Ooh, nope. Nope. There we go. Oof. That look right? That look right? These need to move down or something. Because they're a little too high up for my taste. Just a little bit. Yeah. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Okay. Let's do this little... Wait, do we have enough? I think we got enough. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I overshot this a tiny bit. There we go. I'll fix this in the details layer. Beautiful. Let's see. It's already past 2. Thanks, I will. I'll probably try to stream some other day later this week, so maybe I'll catch you then. It is already getting later than I want to be. I was hoping to maybe be close to done drawing this page, but I really like this page, and it does require a lot. And also, just freaking ADHD brain. I totally forgot I'm supposed to be drawing this guy. I was supposed to draw him a while back. I kind of want to make it look, what are those for? Impact frames, right? From like anime. I kind of want to give it that look a little bit. I think that's kind of the idea for what I want here. No, I don't want all that. I think it's okay. Just do it like... It's got that kind of shape to his vest, so let's keep that going. I had to check for a second that I was on the right layer. Oh man, what a nightmare that would have been. Just scribble all over the freaking background layer. Alright. I don't even know if this is looking... Actually, yes it is. It is looking the way I want it to. I was a little unsure when I sketched this out in the storyboard that it would look right. But bit of a thicker femur here. Also, I didn't draw the other arm, huh? That's too long of a gray mark. Alrighty. Cool. And I think the only thing is it'll be a little lighter. It won't be like totally black. Yeah. Cool. Oh man, I gotta notice about the thing. Okay, yeah, I got an email about the fucking copyright claim thing. I didn't tell you what it is, Al. It's just it's also a little tough because I couldn't find like a direct answer to what you could or could not stream on YouTube. Alright. Just every couple seconds, casually forgetting that I'm streaming. Maybe I just do it like... Yeah. That shit looks a lot better doing it that way. Okay, alright. We got a lot of bubbles. What a shame, because I'm always drawing with a lot of music. And man, some of these are bops, dude. Some of these. I think it was if it was right when the stream went down. It was Black Country New Road. Who knows? Who knows? Man, copyrights are such a bane on the world, man. They really are. Okay. Cool. Damn, I feel good about how this one's turning out. It also needs one there. I actually want to make it look like it's pretty worn there. I think one other thing I have to be careful with is like, this is an important panel on this page, but also just like not putting too much, what is it called? Not putting too much detail in pages where it's not worth it. I kind of started doing that up here, but then I stopped myself from like going too far with it. Just because I think like having it simple is fine. It doesn't need to be too crazy. All right. Let's go with, I guess we should make it thicker. Let's do that over here too. Yeah, cool. I feel like when you have one of these like mobile batteries, they have caps on them. All right. Oof. Just the silent thinker over here, man. It was a lot of, took way too much brain power of mine. For some reason, I had to think about that so hard. Just no words at all. I'm okay with this one being a little uglier. Alright, we're gonna keep this going here. And we go down this way. Alright. Anything else? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we just go for the effects. Go for some straight lightning bolts here. Alright. And I do think I have to fill them. So because we have the black background. Let's just see what this looks like really quick. Throw that in there. That looks like shit. Okay. I think instead what we do, go to editing only. We select everything but the lightning bolts, and we invert it. And then we go here, and we hit delete. Yes. And then maybe this worth? This is worth. Okay, we're cooking now. We're cooking. Yeah, we got it. All right. And then I think I want to have zap be basically the same thing. Oh, I'm drawing in white. I think once we're done with this panel here, I think we're calling it for today. I might draw some more off stream. I'm not sure. I have a lot of crap I need to take care of. Trying to figure out how this is gonna work here. I guess if I turn this on, get a good idea, huh? Let's do this one hand drawn, maybe. I think we're gonna have less trouble filling it if we just do a separate layer. Let's get rid of this. And then I have to do this. And I have to select the insides. And then do that. Go over here. Delete. And then if I go in here with a white, it should be good, right? Yeah. And I think we'll also cut this off like that. Okay, let's add the text for the yank. I like using this bada boom. Okay. And let's go maybe 32. Maybe 40. And then if we rasterize it, we should be able to retransform. Ooh, a little rough on that one. What are we trying to do here? Yeah. I think we want it smaller. Get it there. What's the other one that shows up? Crackle. Got one for that too. Oh, what is it called? Like crunchy or something? Clobber and time crunchy. Go here, here. 32. I think I want to try something. It's gonna look a little odd. Let's have to left align everything, man. I need this room just to look at what we're doing here. Let's deal with that, I guess. And then line spacing. Go down. Maybe it doesn't look too bad when you do it that way. No. This is a little odd. Maybe it's easier if I just add a space there. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. Okay, and then rasterize. Cool. Okay. Woo. Boy, that's a lot, huh? We get rid of this and details. We actually get rid of this too. And we can start working on tone. I'm gonna hit save. I have not hit save since like the very beginning. Oh man. Oh, well. This shouldn't take too long. Oh, getting sleepy. I don't have enough caffeine. That's what that means. I have to hit refer to all layers though. Okay. Alright. What do we want to be black? Or not black, but really dark. This for sure. I think these pipes here. And that. think that's good. I don't have my materials. No, this one? No. I think it's this one. Oh man. Okay. Okay. So the other one that's gonna have a lot of color is this tank in here. Which I think is also gonna be the same color as this. And that. And let's go with that one. And we make it 60. Might have to put some tone over it just to highlight our fella in there. Actually, let's get your skin tone in there. There we go. Okay. What else is gonna have it? I guess you would have the same thing. 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 I think it's actually untrue. I think it's actually very untrue. I think only you and you would have the same one. And I think these two and that and this. I think that's it. It's gonna have the 40. Okay. We gotta get the like 20% in here. It's gonna be you. It's gonna be you. It's gonna be you. It's gonna be you. You and you and you and you. And I guess you too. 20. It's gonna be some leftovers that we're gonna have to figure out what colors or what tone they actually were. Cool. I think it's actually be dark tones for you and you. I think we're gonna make let's try 80 and see how it goes. But it might need to be darker. Yeah, it should be darker. Let's go with 95. And we're only missing 2 tones. I think I know what color they'll be. Yeah. I think it'll be 40. Boom. And then we add everything back in. It's everything, right? Yeah. So then all we're doing now is creating a level of, what is it called? Layer of halftone. 60 should be great. Oh, my foot's falling asleep. All right. And then I'm gonna have this. basically extend out that way. Just give it a bit of a textured look to that. And then also, I think I need a smaller brush here. Cool. There we go. Oh. All right, all right, all right. What is this? What is this? What are you telling me? That's weird. How would you say my bitrate's 0, man? I don't think it is. Whoa. I don't know what it's talking about. I don't know what it's talking about. Here, maybe I can test it out really quick, huh? Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna keep talking, and then hopefully by now it should start. Seems fine to me. I just tested my audio. It seems fine to me. Okay. We keep drawing. We keep drawing. Yeah, that's kind of one of those things I was worried about whenever I was starting this up, because I haven't done this before. I've not streamed. So I wasn't sure what was going to go wrong. All right. You know, for a first stream, it's going well. Could have been a whole lot worse, man. Could have been a whole lot worse. Okay, now it's telling me it's fine. Maybe the audio was bad for a little bit or something. I don't know. Maybe my internet shat itself. I don't know. I'm kind of getting tired of this panel, though. I just want it to be over. It was a fun panel, though. Okay. Well, hopefully this stream is enough to teach someone something or help someone somewhere, or, you know, I don't know, be insightful in some ways. I was hoping to finish the whole page, but I'm already going like an hour over the amount of time I want it to go. And it's mostly just been this one panel. So, which I'm okay with. Like, I'm liking the way it's turning out, so I don't really mind if I'm going over what I wanted to do. I think it just means that maybe off stream I'll draw a little more, so that's okay. But I'm also happy that this has been fun too. It's not just been like a quote unquote little bit successful for a first stream. You know, first streams don't get a ton of views or nothing like that. I wasn't expecting anything like that, but you know, having a couple people pop in is cool. I like that. I think the most important part is I've had fun. This might be almost done now. think the inside texture here, I'm just gonna throw a bunch of halftone on it too. Okay. Alright, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the last bit. Right? I might add a little bit of white over the top. There's no other text, right? There is. There is one text. I think maybe we can try Comico, maybe? Where is that? Should be looking at, there it is. And let's go with 32. No, that's too big. 24. Yeah, 24 is good. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna rasterize it so we can free transform it a little bit. All right. And you know what? I'm happy with that. Or actually, sorry, I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm not happy with it. A layer of white here where I can at least do some. Whoa. No, maybe not the face, but I do think like having some of these effects. Uh-oh. For some reason my audio cut out, but it seems to be fine on stream. Yeah, I don't know. I don't mind. Okay. Oh, guess what? I hate it. We'll try again. Let's actually make the eyes even for once. Yeah. I still don't like that. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can do something like this. Yeah, I think I like that better. I'm not seeing what I'm doing here. Yeah, what is going on with my audio here? Is my like internet dead or something? It says my stream is fine. So I don't know. Maybe that what is it? The AWS thing is affecting me or something. I don't know. It's back now. But whatever. Okay, this seems better. Now we just move on to those two. But I think for now, you know, I think we did all right. This is the progress that we made. Not too bad. I'm liking the way it's looking. But yes. Let's swap over. Oh man. Well, it was a good day. I might do these two off stream. Depends. Depends. If I feel like drawing again tonight, I will probably do them off stream. And if I don't, maybe I'll stream it tomorrow. And hopefully move on to the next page. Which I should be able to show you. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. I'll pull it up. We'll swap back over in a second. But I'm also gonna put my setup back the way it goes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The bad streamer right here. Okay. Yeah, this is what it looks like. This is what this page looks like. So I would be working on the left page here. But yeah, I think this is also a really fun page. I think honestly we have like, including the page I was working on today, 3, 4, 5 solid fun pages. So, you know, got a good amount ahead of us. Also, my audio cut out again. I don't know what's up. I think I need to restart my computer or something. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I will I think I have a short that came out today. I'll have a short coming out tomorrow. I'm needing to make more. Got some ideas though. Some of it regarding this stuff. So maybe you'll see some of that soon. But thanks for hanging out. I don't hear nothing. Maybe I'm hitting no, I don't know. Maybe my headphones, who cares? Well, thanks for hanging out. I will oh, it's back. Here, this is what I'm listening to. But thanks for hanging out. We will see each other soon. See you, Nibbling.